Hello.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. We're super late today, but better late than never, right? Cuz homeboy has stuff to do today. He was a busy man, so
They will never know when we recorded this.
Huh?
They will never know when we recorded this.
See, I'm just trying to be super honest with you guys and he's just
For all they know, we recorded this morning.
All right. So, today's episode is going to be a tad bit real and it might get emotional. So, I'm going to warn you guys now because it's always hard to talk about this for me, at least. We're going to talk about our first 6 months of marriage. And for those of you guys who don't know, we started our relationship off long distance. So it was for like a whole year and some change, right? I lived in Puerto Rico. He lived out here, obviously. And we didn't really get to see each other as much because of that. So he traveled to me maybe like every 3 to 4 months.
Every time you say that, I just think about all the money I spent. Literally.
Yeah.
Which is why we're not rich now. Not rich yet, at least.
Not yet. So we weren't really able to, I guess, how would I say that? Live and kind of work our relationship the way other people would who actually live within the same state.
Like observe, how you handle things.
Right. Yeah. Right. It was, we always got half of each other, like half of it, not the full part of it type thing, because we would be with each other for like 2 weeks and you guys get it, right? So, because of this, I knew that I had to basically tell him everything I needed from him before moving out here for good. To start like our relationship, in the same space. So, I required pretty much everything I got when I was back home with my family. So the love, the attention, the time. My love language is quality time. So I made that clear from the beginning. Like, I need my time. I need you present. And I knew, like, from the very beginning, he was also capable of it. But I also knew, too, that he likes to be out and about all the time. Because even when he traveled to PR to see me, he loved to be out and about all the time. It was always
a lot of people to see. A lot of people to see.
I want to see him. I want to go here. Yeah. Like, always out and about. I want to play basketball. He always had something to do. That was the point. And I knew this, but I also knew that he was capable of committing to what I was asking of him and like really satisfying me in that way if he wanted to, right? So I was like, let's go for it. I moved down here and sort of immediately I felt like I made the biggest mistake ever because I was like,
you're being harsh.
Okay, I don't want to be that. I'm sorry, babe.
Go ahead,
but this is like the overall
I get to talk
truth.
too.
Like,
so.
I'm so serious.
So
it was like the loneliest time of my life. I'm not kidding. And he didn't know that, but it was like we had so much. I can't even say we had so much going on either. He like did Uber full time. I started working 2 weeks after I got here, so I was always at work and then I went straight home, and he was just never around. It was always something, always something, and I was just lonely as hell. So if he wasn't out doing Uber, of course he was with his, I'm not even gonna be mean, but with his friends that did not serve him any purpose at the time, doing things that I didn't know he was doing because, let me just be straightforward, he was smoking, right?
What?
And lying about it. Not only was he doing it, but he was lying about it. Because,
hold up.
No, stop.
Hey.
One of my it was, I can't say it was a deal breaker, but one of my deal breakers at the time was the only way I'm gonna move out here is if you stop smoking, because I knew he smoked when we were in PR and we did our long distance or whatnot. And I also knew that
was something I was struggling with for a while.
Yes, I also knew that it was huge for him. Like, it was something that he couldn't let go of. And I'm like, I'm not going to build my life with someone who prioritizes that. And so he stopped smoking, right? Because I do this because it was a damn lie.
It wasn't a lie. It wasn't a lie.
It was a lie the whole time.
Whatever.
So I got here.
I get to speak my piece.
He thought I was dumb because he says he never came home high, and I'm like, okay, like, I don't know you. Like, if I didn't know you for years, whatever.
All right, you sidetracked. You going in on me right now.
Yeah, I'm just talking junk now. But anyways, if he wasn't out doing Uber, he was out smoking. He was out playing basketball. He was out doing church stuff like 3 days out of the week, when I'm pretty sure it wasn't really church stuff. But
what?
You know, I can't really, you know, he probably went to church for an hour and then left, but I'm there thinking he was at church the whole night.
That's not true.
You know, stuff like that. So basically, when it came down to it, he was never home. And I was always home. I was home all the time, by myself. Maybe with his parents sometimes, but that doesn't count for me. So I felt super lonely. Honestly, I felt really lonely. I felt betrayed. I felt deceived because I knew he was lying to me, and yet he kept lying to me. And honestly, it was like, what? Like, why are you still lying? I'm not stupid, but yet he still continued to lie. And because of that, I felt like he was lying about everything else too. In terms of where he's at and how long he was there and whatever. Like, I just felt like he never really told the overall story. He was always sugarcoating stuff. So it was super, really, really, really tough for me because I didn't know how to cope with it. I didn't know what to say. Like, I was sitting there questioning my marriage over and over and over again. But I knew that he was super capable of it, and it makes me emotional talking about it. So
no.
I was like, I did this for a man that I know absolutely loves me.
Poor baby.
Stop. And would do anything in the world for me, but yet what I really, really need out of him, which I felt were simple things, because who doesn't need attention? Who doesn't want love? Who doesn't want time? He couldn't give that to me. He wasn't giving it to me. So in my head, I'm like, what the hell did I do wrong? Like, what's going on here? Did I choose the wrong one? I'm not sure what to do right now. So the way I coped with it, to be honest, was running away. That's literally what I've done since I was younger, since I was young. Anytime I felt some type of way, anytime something bothered me, I would just kind of run. It was either fight or flight, and my option was always flight. Like, I took off. I never fought. And I would go to CT maybe like 3 times a month, almost every week, basically, to run away, to pretend like it wasn't happening. And I didn't talk to anybody about it. I didn't really share the story with many people because I didn't want to seem like a failure. I didn't want to seem like I chose the wrong person to be with. Although I knew deep down inside, like, this isn't it. This can't be it. Like, this just can't be the end. You know what I mean?
Before the beginning. The end before the beginning. Look at that. Huh?
So, so I would run away, and I would stay in TT for days, sometimes like 4 or 5 days, and not talk to him at all. And maybe like the day before I was coming back home, or even like 2 hours before I got here, to be honest, on the way driving back to Mass, I would text him and be like, hey, or I don't know, I miss you, or are you hungry, you want food, or whatever, just to start like small.
She's fronting, bro. She's fronting. Don't be mad real in front now. I, Eli Noel, would send that text.
Okay.
All right. I would send that text most of the time. Not every time, but most of the time.
Okay, so for the most part, he did send the text. So it was just starting a small conversation, basically. And I would get here, and we would act like nothing happened. Literally, like nothing happened. So I would be good for like a few days because every time I went to CT, I basically got what I was missing back home. I got the love, I got the time and attention because I have family in CT. My uncle's in CT, and he's like one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. So all I really got to do is go to Connecticut, and I get my dose of love that I was missing. So I would come back, and I'd be good for a few days until, yet again, I didn't get what I needed. And every single time it would just be swept under the rug. It was like we did not do what we had to do to actually fix that issue.
I mean, I want to kind of interject too. I mean, the reason why is because we're like we've always had the ability to have fun with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, in, like, real genuine fun. Not like, all right, let's try to have fun. Like, whether we're mad at each other or not. So, she would come back on a Sunday and would watch a movie that night. Like, nothing ever happened. And would laugh. And it's like we'd get a glimpse of the happiness that we do have. But it was kind of like, and then once we see the happiness, and then we never really got to, like, kind of address the problem that's gonna kill that happiness in like 4 days. So
right, because I mean we were good after I came back, and we were all jolly, and like he said, it was just happiness, and then all of a sudden it would just crash again, and the same thing would happen over and over and over again.
So I don't even know if it was happiness. That was the case, right?
I think it was more of us missing each other a little bit, and then just kind of feeding off of that for a bit. But once you,
you're good.
That happened last time too. Yeah, but like once you actually live with someone in the same house, you know, you tend to the whole missing part goes away pretty quickly. So it didn't really last too long. Now, if we missed each other forever, you know, we probably would have been happy forever because we show a lot of love when we miss each other.
Whatever. All right, so, yeah, so, I mean, that's really kind of, obviously, time's about to run out right now, and you guys noticed that I didn't really kind of, like, say my part, but we figured there was going to be we'd miss a lot of stuff if we kind of, like, got everything on one video, so part 2 on Friday. Tune in. Then I'm gonna kind of like really kind of share what my thought processes were while she was thinking this, because oftentimes like people we do live out in our own worlds, whether you want to believe it or not. Sometimes you think you like something, you tell yourself that, but in reality you don't even like that because you never knew. So
you said something too that really stuck out to me. He said that although two people live in the same house and are in the same space, you never know what the other person is thinking at all.
Yeah, definitely. So that was a big thing for us too, because as she explained this, and as you can imagine, when she told me that it was the worst 6 months, oh my God, I was devastated because here I am thinking I am the best husband in this world. And she smacks me with that. And it was devastating. And next week, tune in, and we're going to continue part 2. And you guys can hear my part and how we kind of like fixed it and got it together. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about this crybaby over here.
Good night.
Crying all the time. All right, bye, guys.